So what's up, guys? Good morning. How y'all doing? Want to talk about billet goodies. I see a lot of people buying little, billet pieces for their bikes to kind of dress them up, make them look a little fancier or whatever. And that's something that I'm really not into. I don't spend money on that. And if I did want something on my bike, say like I wanted those top fork caps to be anodized red, personally I would rather take those off and take them to a place that does anodizing and have those anodized and then put them back on there, rather than buying a set of billet caps like off the internet. Just because most of the stuff that I've seen people buy, that are like, it's a replacement part for whatever is on the bike, except it's like red or blue or whatever. Most of the time, from what I've seen, the part that you're getting is usually just like a piece of junk that's like made in Hong Kong, and it's like not near as good of quality as the part that you're taking off of there. I don't know if that's worth it to just have something a different color. I mean, it's not worth it to me. It's not worth the money, and it's not worth putting a cheesy part on my bike. And I saw a video a while back. A guy did, I don't know if it was a review or a warning, I don't know what you'd call it, but he bought a billet, like a gold anodized dipstick for his Honda Grom. And before he put it on there, he noticed that there was like a big old burr on the threads from when they machined the part. And if he would have just like screwed that into his engine without looking at it first, he would have put that big old burr into the oil of the engine. And who knows, I mean, if it got into the clutch or if it got into something, it could have like totally messed the bike up and cost him a lot of money. And another drawback that I've heard people say is like, they'll sell these two caps here, like for the brake and the clutch reservoir. They'll sell those like, say, like anodized orange, and for my KTM. And I've heard people say that like, if the sun's in a certain position when you're riding, you could get a glare off of that you won't get from. It's like, why do you think they make like this top fork crown and everything around the instrumentation and like all the controls and these caps? Everything's black. And it's not just black, it's like flat black. It's like non-reflective. And they do that on purpose so that you don't catch a glare off of that stuff while you're riding your bike. And so about the time you put some billet goodie on there, it's like basically like having a mirror right there that's going to reflect light into your face and make it hard for you to see. It's going to freaking blind you. And that's my deal when it comes to the billet goodies. Yeah, it's like I would recommend to anyone, just save your money for something that actually matters. It's funny, I was actually up at the rock store a while back, and there were like some other dudes up there on Groms, and I rode my Grom, and they were looking at mine and I was looking at theirs, and theirs looked really fancy, like they had done basically like every single billet goodie and the aftermarket handlebars and everything that you could possibly do to the bike, but it still had the rubber brake lines, it still had the stock tires, it didn't have the Öhlins suspension. I mean, just thing after thing. I'm like, it didn't have the steering dampener, and I'm looking at those bikes and I'm like, you know what? As far as the ride goes, I would much rather ride my bike than ride one of those bikes, just because they're not really, in my opinion, they're not modified. They look like they're modified, but they're not. They haven't been improved. That's what I gotta say about that. It's my story on billet junk. So, I'll talk to you guys later. You have a great day.